We're here with Ellis Boswell, and it is May 4th, 2022. And Ellis Boswell was here on a date in December, I believe about 1943, and helped a blimp land. Ellis, as we stand out here now, do you recognize this spot?
Yes.
What did you know this spot as back then?
You know, cow pasture.
Okay.
We did a little hunting out there and everything. None of these trees were around. That road right there was not there. I think that road right there was built when the Hammonds. Is that Hammonds over there? Hamilton?
Hamilton Building,
Yeah.
So how big was the airship or the blimp, as you remember it?
I just remember they said it was about 320 feet long, the length of a football field.
So if you will, point to where you think the nose of the ship was.
I can't give you the exact figure. I might miss it 500 to 1,000 feet. But it was right over there. Right here, between here and that tree, that dead tree over there.
So can you say where we were standing on that day, there would have been people all around here?
No, most all the people that were there were holding down the blimp. It was about,
Okay.
I know it was about 300 there holding down the blimp. But there's a lot of other people walking around there too. I guess it's a total of 500 people out there.
So 500 people were in this field somewhere, is that correct?
Right. Oh, it's been a good day to pull a bank robbery in Kosciuszko call. The cops were out here too, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we had 3 cops in, I think.
How long did the blimp stay here?
On the ground, he stayed here probably 2 hours.
Okay.
But flying over, that was probably another hour, because he came over to our house about 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and what woke me up was my mother's chickens in the backyard. They were cutting up. We didn't know what in the world had happened, unless it was a hawk out there or something. And it was really something to see. Those chickens, what in the world is wrong with those chickens? They were all cluttered up on top, piling on top of each other down in the corner of the fence. And then I heard a roaring noise. They don't make a loud noise. They had got an engine on each side, maybe a 300 horsepower on each side. I don't know what they were, but they had the blimp motors.
And you rode out here on a bicycle, is that correct?
Well, most of the way, but I had to jump several ditches and things like that. And I was in the 5th grade. Everybody just ran from the schoolroom, started running out there. The whole school emptied out. And I don't know anybody around right now that remembers that day out here on this field.
Except you.
Except me. And there's 2 or 3 other people still in Kosciuszko about my age, and they might remember it. But I don't think they remember coming out here, because I don't think they came out here. So that was an exciting day. They had George Sowell, who was a radio man at the time. He set up a PA system. Somebody brought a 18-wheeler trailer in here for him to get up on to use that for a stage. He set up a PA system out here, and we got all the pilots and the crew members of that ship. I think there's 4 or 5 of them, saying that they thanked everybody for everything. What had happened is, this particular blimp cruised all over. Now, I don't know how far they cruised, but they were out of Houston, Texas, I think. And they had been caught in a thunderstorm in the Gulf of Mexico that night before. And when it became daylight, they were up around Kosciuszko. And they didn't know what in the world or where in the world they were. So they finally came to this little town. There's some people down there. Now we about to run out of fuel. We got to do something. So they dropped the guy off. They got low enough to drop him off, who caught a ride into town. And my daddy tells me they came in the OK Power Ford company, that one guy there that they dropped off, and told him about it. Well, everybody at OK Power Ford, mechanics and all, went and spread the word around, and several other people went and spread the word around. The first thing you knew, Kosciuszko was having the stampede out here at Strayhorn Field. And that's about it right now.
Okay, so I know you don't know the exact spot, but in a general area, point again to where you think the blimp was.
I think he was in this area here. He could have been that far down up to that far.
Okay.
But I remember it was a road up to about where those trees were. And Mr. Strayhorn's house was on the other side, on that little road that comes off Business Route Highway 12 there. Henry Powell used to have a little Piper Cub out here, and they'd take off.
And so this was a landing field for some aircraft.
Well, for that particular aircraft, I think that's the only aircraft that ever flew out of here because it's such a short field, and it's just right for a Piper Cub. I took my first ride in an airplane out here when I was 7 years old. At the time the blimp landed, I was 10 years old in 43.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ellis.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.